Hi there, my name's Chris Barlow. I'm the CTO of Astec, and we're here at the ABU 2015 to launch our iBroadcast network management system into the area through our partner Ideal Systems. I'll just walk you through a fairly brief demonstration of the product just to show you its features and capabilities. So the application is designed to act as a source of aggregation for all of your different broadcast equipment, but also non-broadcast equipment too, which could be things like your IT servers, but also your facilities equipment. So air conditioning, power generation, security, all of the door access controls and all of those kind of things. All of the information which could have a bearing on your overall operational performance. So what we do is we present all of the information that we gather through a simple, high-level consolidated dashboard. And what this is designed to show is the overall status of your operation from a performance perspective. And if there's a problem with any aspect of your operation, then that will be reflected in this display, and we can use the application then to drill down and find the root cause of that problem. So for example, here across the top are all the individual areas of the system that I'm monitoring, and we have a high level status here as well of our overall operation. So if there are any problems, I will have an instant notification through this system, and I can drill down. So if I take a look into our contribution area, this now shows all of the individual subsystems of the contribution area, so all of the elements that make up that operational area, and I can drill down further into any of these, and now I can see the actual equipment that is responsible for that particular, for the broadcast of the services from that area of the business. And if there's a problem with any of these pieces of equipment, for example, if I just toggle this into alarm, then you'll see how the alarm is aggregated up through the hierarchies of the system, so that right at the very top level we can see that there's a problem, and then of course we can use the system to diagnose that problem. If I just clear the error down again. All of these displays that you see here are all designed to be as templated as possible, so that regardless of the individual idiosyncrasies between all of your systems, we can provide as fewer screens as possible, which makes the system more easy to maintain and also easy to configure. Through the training we provide on the application, we can also have our partners or even our end users configure this system, so that there's no reliance on us as the vendor for the long-term support and maintenance of the overall kind of application and the way the information is presented. Some more examples of the types of displays we have. For example, if I look in the Playout area, now we have a number of Playout chains, and I can look at the individual Playout chains and view their performance. And also, if there's a requirement, then it's also possible to use the system to provide control. So I can click here and fail over to the reserve path, and all of these actions are either are all enforced by security, and they're also audited, so you can see at any time who's actually taken what actions. All of the objects on the screen, or all of the screen components, are also dynamic, so we can actually install and remove equipment while the system's running. And all this is done because we recognise how complex and dynamic some of the broadcasting operations can be, so that there's constant equipment refresh, and it's important that the system does not stagnate, so that it continues to offer value even in a rapidly changing environment. So for example, I can remove equipment from here. I just simply tell the system that I no longer want to monitor that device, and it will disappear from the screen. So therefore it's very easy to have the system maintain its relevance and to keep monitoring all of your devices. Here we have an example of a distributed transmission environment that we're going to monitor, so all of the various remote transmission sites, and we can drill down into a particular site and view the status of the transmitter, all of the hardware and all of the equipment from that site, and also as well we can take all of the information from other sources such as weather systems, so that if there's a problem with this site, then it's possible for the operator to determine if the issue is weather related or if it's equipment related, because of course it could well be that it's to do with rain fade or some other weather phenomenon. But we can also look at the non-broadcast side of that as well. So here we're showing the low voltage switchgear that we're monitoring, things like circuit breakers and transformers and even a diesel generator. And it's even possible for the system to monitor the level from your fuel tank and even show a trend of those levels, so that if you need to rely on the generator, that then you can be sure that there's enough fuel in the tank and that the generator will start. It's even possible to monitor all of your utility meters, so things like power meters, water meters, and all of the sort of meter types, so that if you're using that to record your utility usage, that's the kind of thing that iBroadcast can report on also. It's not just equipment status, information. And even things like security systems, so for door access control, and even for IP cameras, then we can take a feed. So if there's motion detected at a particular remote site, then it's possible for the user of the system to actually dial in and to pull back a feed there from that camera, and he can see whether there's been a security breach. We're also able to take in video feeds as well, so that if it helps the operator to diagnose a problem by looking at the actual played out video, then that's something that we can do. And we can also interface to things like third-party compliance systems. So here, for example, there's a file QC system that we're showing all of the job the file QC system either is or has been like processing. And we can drill down into one of these jobs and then view the report. So if there are any errors with the file QC, you can bring that information straight into the iBroadcast user interface. We're able to monitor all of the IT systems as well, so things like servers and switches. And here on this example, we're showing like a data center or a hall with racks. And we can drill in and see the individual racks themselves, the temperatures and the power usage of the individual racks, and then we drill in and we can see the front and the back of the racks, all the equipment that's installed. And if I hover over, then we can see some of the status from that information. And if I hover over, we can see some of the status from that device. So things like the CPU, if there's a problem with disk space, or if there's a problem with any of the components from the server. We also have a few different ways to present the information to operators. So here is our standard dashboard view, which shows the overall platform performance. But we can also drill in and show the service view, which now looks at all of the services that we carry and if there are any problems that affect the integrity of those services. And of course, if there's a problem, then the user can use the user interface to drill down into and use the system to diagnose problems from that service perspective. We also have a system view, which shows our kind of end-to-end platform monitoring with all of the operational areas right across the business, and also we can drill down into these areas as well if there's a problem, to kind of isolate the root cause and to diagnose the issue. So that was a brief introduction to iBroadcast. This is the first time that we've had iBroadcast in Asia, and as I said earlier, it's available through our partner, Ideal Systems. If you need any further information, you can contact Astec or view our website, which is www.astecsolutions.com, or you can visit the Ideal Systems website, www.idealsys.com. Thanks for watching.